Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz. Today is May 12, 2015 at 10:50 p.m. Birmingham. Topic: Jade Helm, Cern collider. I want to bring you up on just what I'm talking about. Jade Helm was put out there on purpose. Jade Helm was put out there again for a primary reason of a dry run, but then to become a reality when that time is called for. Now, why is it that Jade Helm 15 was scheduled to be released widespread? I mean, really kicking in the butt spread in April 2015. I will tell you why. That was the fire up date on the collider in Switzerland. That is the date that this thing, the Cern collider, was fired up for a second test. They've had one, and they had major problems. And that will make sense when I tell you in a few minutes what it is, and it's going to take 2 blogs. But the Cern collider has been fired up and run once at 50% capacity, and it failed. Test shows why it failed, and it failed on numerous things, but the number one was the magnetic field alignment wasn't aligned properly. In a nutshell, I guess this is what can be said. But it caused it to crash. It did a lot of damage, but it didn't do enough damage that it couldn't be repaired quickly. So the startup date on the Cern collider, April, around the 15th. The full speed should be realized somewhere around now. If it reaches full speed, and I don't think it will now, I think it will though within the 90 days, it'll be 99.9% the speed of light. Does anybody have any idea what I'm talking about? Well, I won't explain it to you. I'm going to just go on and tell you what I feel and what I believe, and I'm going to tell you how you can know that Jade Helm is going to be implemented. Okay, I'm going to explain at the second blog how you'll know to be prepared for Jade Helm. And I believe it's going to be sooner than any of us thought in reality. And I'll tell you why. Number one, you have the Agenda 21. This is the one where all your rights have been removed. They tell you how big a house, in other words, it's socialist agenda, but how big your house can be. They'll move you out of a house if it's too big for you, what kind of car you can drive, how much power you can run day by day, the size of the light bulbs in your house, and the kind of food you eat, and if they will allow you to raise food, what kind will they allow you to raise? Agenda 21 is all these things and much, much more, okay? Now, you have the Cern collider. It's a demonic portal is what it is. That's exactly what it is. Look, every nation on this world, they're paying for this. Not just the European countries, every nation, because it's so absolutely expensive for this thing to be built. It's taken billions and billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars to build it. It is 15, 16 miles in diameter, 5 to 5.5 through the middle. And this thing is moved, the particle is moved by magnetic field, just like they do the elevated tracks or they shuttle along trains in Japan. the magnetics are shut on and off that'll propel the train faster and faster. Well, they can run trains over 300 miles an hour now. But this is what the collider is. It's called a God particle. This is what these, how do you put it, nutty professors have come up with, a God particle. But let me tell you where they got that idea from. That idea came from the books of Enoch that you have not read. The books of Enoch that's not available to you to read. The books of Enoch that explains every mystery that the fallen angels taught men prior to the flood here on earth. God told Enoch to write the books, 366 of them. 2 of them we have. Where's the other 364? They have been found, most of them. And they're sitting under the Vatican today. And not only are they under, but they are deep under. They're far enough so that nothing can hurt them or get to them or steal them or borrow them or take anything from them. So the knowledge of this Cern collider came straight out of the books of Enoch. The UFOs that Hitler built came straight out of the books of Enoch. The way these pyramids and large structures are built on Easter Island and in Peru and all along the Andes mountain range were built by giants who had the ability to take 10-ton, 50-ton, 100-ton, 200-ton rocks and perfectly cut them to fit, even though they may be odd shaped, have a notch in it. They made them perfectly. How did they move these things 15 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles away, up in elevation, sometimes an additional 2 or 3 or 4,000 feet? We can't do that today, except breaking off pieces of it. You know, there's a lot that's available to man that would have been available that's been hidden away, not by God, but hidden away by the evil forces that has in their control these books. This is where everything that's being done is being done today against you through these books. This is where they get DNA mixing. Did you see today where they took the DNA of some kind of a dinosaur bird and mixed it with a chicken? I mean, really, did you see the pictures of it? You remember years ago when they were talking about these things, when they would make a noise through the nostrils, it would sound like a horn blowing. You may have seen that on this island of whatever it was. You know, they made 2 or 3 movies of these prehistoric animals that they recreated, all by taking DNA and restoring it. Well, these chickens had these, looked like passageways, almost like whistles, inside their beaks, just as they were explained thousands of years ago of the ones that have been found that can be reconstructed. All right, I got to cut it right now, but when I get back, you're going to hear something that you'll want to hear. And I take no pleasure in telling you about it, but I'm going to tell you everything that I have right now. Jody Wolf Expoz.